Hey all, this is Martial Horror here. If I seem a little off today, it's because I haven't been really feeling well this last week. So that's why. And also, I hope I'm not overexposing myself too much because I actually planned 3 videos these next 2 days. Today I plan on doing this video and also a Wolfman review video. And tomorrow I plan on doing my Nostalgia Chick review for the Critiquing the Critics show. But first I'm going to talk about Ong Bak 2. Now, if you remember in 2003 when Tony Jaa released his Ong Bak, it was the greatest thing ever. I mean, all of us fans were excited. It was like Jet Li and Jackie Chan step out of the way because this is the new guy who's coming in. And we were all excited to see his next film, The Protector. Unfortunately, it didn't do as well as we hoped. It wasn't that great of a movie, and it just didn't do that well in the box office, and Tony Jaa really lost his chance to make it big. And then came Ong Bak 2. Yes, we were excited, but the production problems became a huge problem. I mean, this film has been in production for like 2 years, and it's finally come out. And so we were worried, very worried. Luckily, I think Ong Bak 2 was a very, very good martial arts film. It has some of the most groundbreaking, mind-blowing fight scenes you will ever see. The fight scenes are superbly choreographed. They're very stylish, but also very down-to-earth and brutal. They feel very realistic. Even at one point, he claws some guy's face. And that's really how most fight scenes probably were. I mean, real-life fighting. And there's a different kind of variety of them. You got Chinese-style battles, Japanese-style battles, Muay Thai, and a lot more. So this is definitely the type of fighting movie for everybody. And that, I think, is really what the most important thing is. That's what we want. And for the most part, actually, 100% Tony Jaa delivers in that regard. And I will say that this is probably one of the top 3 coolest martial arts films ever made. The other 2 being a smaller, lesser-known film called Black Belt, and also Jet Li's Fearless. Those are the movies that have the best fight scenes, and this is definitely up on par with them. And I was surprised how visually stunning this is. I mean, the cinematography is vast, epic, very, very aesthetically appealing. And I was impressed, really, how good Tony Jaa did as a director. And now there's actually there's another guy who came in to direct it, so I don't really know who did what, but all around this was a very well-staged film. Besides the obvious fight scenes, there's actually a surprisingly decent amount of suspense. Like at one point he has a fight with an alligator, very well handled and very believable. And also some of the camera work is really, really stunning. Now, Tony Jaa, he obviously is a student of Jet Li and Jackie Chan in terms of his style of fighting. Obviously, he does his own thing, but those are the guys he really borrowed the most from, and Bruce Lee too. But here, as a director, he seems to be borrowing from guys like Luc Besson, I think that's his name. And in fact, at one point, he even rips off a shot from Leon the Professional, and that's when somebody's dying, and they have kind of a camera point of view as they're falling. So it's a really well-made film. Unfortunately, don't expect much in terms of story or characters or acting. Story-wise, it's that annoying mix of thin and convoluted. They have annoying flashbacks, which just kind of killed the pace a little bit. And but who watches that for story? But character-wise, I wish they could have done something more. The character that Tony Jaa plays has literally no personality. He just fights, and fights. And Tony Jaa is partially to blame there. You know, say what you will about Jackie Chan, especially Jackie Chan, but also Jet Li. You know, guys like them, they can make thinly written characters very interesting. You know, Jackie Chan in particular, he could always... You never even have to have a real well-written character, but he can at least make him entertaining. Tony Jaa isn't that good. His character has no personality. He is just completely boring. And it's almost as if he just decided he's going to do a compilation of awesome fight scenes. No real story, no real character. That's it. Also, there's a few other issues I had. There's this overlong dance scene, and it almost goes on for like 5-10 minutes, and it's really slow. And to me, it took you out of the movie a little bit. Also, the ending was terrible. It definitely felt like they ran out of money, and it's obviously meant to be a cliffhanger for when they do Ong Bak 3, but you can't really completely respect a movie that obviously is saving everything up for the next one. And there's a random inclusion of love interest. Once again, I think they'll go into that in Ong Bak 3. But overall, luckily, in the case of martial arts movies, what we care about are the fight scenes. That is really 75% of the movie's success. And in that regard, Ong Bak 2 was great. He's definitely topped himself in terms of his own fight scenes. Now, how does it rate compared to his other films? Well, I think Ong Bak, the first one, was definitely a lot better, because even though the story was been there, done that, it also had some really interesting characters, so that even though the main dish was the fight scenes, we actually cared what happened to these people. The Protector, Tony Jaa tried to stretch his acting chops, but it didn't really work out. And the fight scenes were, even though they were well done, they were just kind of stale. We've seen it all before. But in the case of Ong Bak 2, I guess the fight scenes are so much better, but you don't care for anybody. So I guess I'd say it's better than the Protector, but not as good as the first Ong Bak. I'd give it a 3 stars. And I recommend that if you're into Kickass fight scenes, definitely check it out. It's worth it. But if you're not, don't. It's not your movie. It's just for us guys who like to watch Tony Jaa taking names and kicking ass. And the less taking names and the more kicking ass, the better. Now, if you want to watch my full or read my full review, go into my description. It's pretty much the same as you'd see here, though. And that's it. I'll see you next for my Wolfman review, which will be a little bit more detailed than this. All right, thank you. Bye.